Welcome back to the Flashing Badger podcast. My name is Gordon. I will be your host today. Joining me this week are
Fitz,
Mike,
and Fitz.
What a mess.
This is what happens when you don't point, Gordon.
Flashing Badger, alright. Flashing Badger.
we are playing Mothership. This is episode 4 of the Deadweight scenario by Norgad, which is available on itch.io. I haven't said that so far, but you should definitely check it out. It's a great little module. It's really well written. And these guys are discovering soon that it's quite deadly.
What?
When we last left our crew, they had split up, as you should always do in horror films. Cal, played by Fitz, was on the bridge checking some diagnostics. Dutch, played by Mike, was
I'm with Ahu.
with Ahu in the starboard corridor, just checking out the status, or about to check out the status of one of the tugboat engines. Doc was just about to make entry into the quarantined laboratory where his friend and erstwhile mentor, Dr. Renato, was killed by a mysterious alien virus. Been quarantined since then, 3 or 4 days ago. He's about to go in. Cal, would you like to give us a very brief summary of what you just saw on the surveillance footage from inside Container Room B?
It disturbed me. I saw one of the Shift A technicians, Ben Minogue, go in there and somehow through faffing about or whatever he was doing, trip and fall and hit his head. Clearly he injured himself and started to bleed. It appears that as that blood pool reached this spherical rock object, which was also stored in the container room, all of a sudden something occurred. There was flashes. There was clearly something pulled in through the side of the container wall, breaching it, and then the feed went dead. And on top of that, what made it even scarier was that Ben's body appeared to completely disappear as well.
Sounds like you said scared about 4 times. You best roll me a sanity check.
Once we cross episodes, that's
Roll me
too late.
roll me a sanity check. We'll see how that goes. So you failed your sanity save there.
No,
So you're going to take 2 stress from that.
excellent.
Would you say you're feeling panicky?
Yeah.
So what's your theory? Having seen this, the others haven't seen it yet. What do you think is happening here?
Clearly, and I'm trying desperately to repress any ideas of horror and monsters here, but clearly, whatever spherical thing that is, having also seen it myself, once it touched the biological or the blood of Ben, it caused some type of reaction. Something happened, and I'm starting to think that whatever it was that happened has made that ball not a magnet, but some sort of drawn to entity where things, I haven't figured out what it is yet, specific things are drawn to it. I know something was drawn fast from the food store towards it, and something from what Maxine or Double Dutch has told me from the life support area at least. So clearly whatever this thing is a giant, almost a giant magnet, but for something, and clearly not metal because the ship's metal, but it's pulling something to it at such force that it's actually breaching the hull.
A vampiric bowling ball.
Well, what made me, it's a pearl-like substance and colour, and whilst I can't attribute known things to it, perhaps it's some sort of, I don't know, with Ben's body being sucked into it, is it trying to feed? Is it pulling food from the food stores? And
as you were talking, I was thinking it's drawing in biological matter rather than a magnet drawing in, alloys and like magnetic alloys. It's actually drawing in biological matter or matter that goes towards supporting life. So the life support, presumably there's elements there of generating oxygen and generating life. There's water in there. The food storage, obviously, there's going to be meat and things in there.
yeah, true.
So is it drawing in things almost like it got a taste of Ben, the biological matter there, and it's piece by piece searching through the ship and drawing things in.
And
We can recalibrate it, and like I could put my shame into it, and then it will just draw shame or something like
that wouldn't be good for me.
I was going to say, we put metal into it, it starts attracting metal, but we'll lose the ship.
Yeah.
The hull of the ship,
Think
the
of something we can do
exterior.
without.
Yeah.
Put the virus into it.
Oh, good call.
Lack of self-worth and yeah. That's a good theory, and it will kind of account for where the rest of the crew is.
Yeah.
What a shame you can't share that theory because
No, we can't. No, sorry.
We went a bit meta there, sorry.
So, Cal, you look at the control panels around you and things, and now that you have time to look at it in more detail, you've tried to eject these containers, but like I say, there's no sort of remote, there's no way to push them away from the ship. You can sort of authorize them being detached, but that's about as much as you can do. But you can see now that you look at the reactor output and everything that there is essentially power to emergency lighting, to the nav computer. That's about it.
Right.
Pretty much everything else is off. Name a system. Pinball machines, they're off.
I knew what he was going to do. It's like, just name something.
Yeah, name something. Name
The
anything from-
blender.
Off.
Chef?
He's got his internal batteries.
Ooh.
Alarm clock.
Off. Unless it's the one on AAA's, and then it's fine.
Can I see, do the tugboats run off their own power systems, or do they have to draw it from the ship?
Yep, tugboats have their own internal batteries. And obviously they've got engines. They're generating electricity when the engines are running, but they have internal batteries for when the engines aren't on.
Am I able to still look, and this is one of the reasons I did originally come in here for last week, am I still able to look up on almost the log or the manifest, the last...
I think you mean manifesto.
the soap
You
manifesto.
have to leave in the
comrade.
previous joke. You can do that.
Where the last known location by login is of the captain.
Yeah, the last login was here on the bridge.
And that was how long before this all sort of started?
A couple of hours before the alarms woke you.
Right.
She's at her desk. You just never looked.
Well, that stupid thought occurs to me because I'm starting to rack my brain now and I've just rolled scared, so you can't make me do it again. And I spin around and I do note that there is actually a room off this bridge that I haven't looked at, which is the secure storage area, which would be a good place to hide if you were worried. I'd go and look in the storage area.
Has Sarah joined you yet from her rummaging through general storage supplies?
You think she'd be in a panic to get here?
She comes running in to the door. She's given up on looking and she's in a panic about what just hit. Something just hit us. Is someone shooting at us?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Are we at war with Mars?
Again?
Sarah, whatever that thing is in B has ripped through the hull again. It's caused a massive breach. We've lost all power. We've lost everything except nav and life support, and even that's draining right now.
Life support's not on.
We're
I
running
told you nav and lighting was on.
Oh, I thought it was life support.
You're wrong.
Sorry.
I thought it
We've
was
lost-
Sarah correcting him.
No.
I'm like, she knows more.
I thought he was just trying to get a freebie in there.
Yeah,
if I
no,
mentioned it, he can't.
Maybe I was. We've lost everything but nav and lighting. This ship is basically dead in the air.
We're not even in the air.
No, we're not
in
in
a
the air.
vacuum.
These phrases transcend generations, okay? Calling it a boat, in the air,
Yeah,
all those things.
Talking about how much lift you've got.
That's right, all those things. And I scream at her, grab a suit. I'm thinking we might have to abandon. And I just tell Sarah this.
She's like, abandoned to where?
That's a good point.
Someone answered the distress. We're weeks from anywhere. Cal, are you crazy?
Grab a suit, make sure the emergency beacon is acted, and stop arguing with me. And I go and check the secure storage.
So now he acts like a leader.
Secure storage has a bolted door. Needs a secure access card to open it. There's 2 on the ship. Captain's got one.
Oh, no.
Exo's got the other.
He's
You
on
know
ice.
this. You can see the door locks are still engaged. You check
Yeah.
because the power's out, but the door lock's still engaged. Bolted shut.
I scream at Sarah. Go over to Cryo. Open up Cryo. The Exo's in there. Grab his card and bring it back here. We need it. We need it.
You sending Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay. Sarah's not a POV character, so we'll have to wait and see what
Yep.
happens when she comes back. Meanwhile, Dutch, you've put that call through. You've made your way into the starboard corridor there. And I know you talked about checking out the tugboat engine. Is that still the plan?
Yeah, last I spoke to Doc, there was mention that I'd check the engine. At least I'll know that one's online and then have a view of piloting it. Ultimate goal is to dislodge B, container B. And I know that Cal was looking to remotely remove it, and that hasn't happened. So that's, myself and Ahu, that's our plan. So we're coming up to tugboat engine, B, A,
Yep.
starboard side.
Starboard side. So you approach the door and it's showing greens through to the tugboat engine. And it's that unique thing. There's an inner airlock door, obviously, that goes into your ship, and there is almost a glass fronted, it's like a giant porthole, which represents the airlock door and the front of the pilot's capsule for the tugboat engine. So when you climb in, you're climbing in past the pilot's seat. You're walking towards the back of the ship. You open it up, and inside, it's like one of those submarines that you see, one of the little, 1 or 2 man things. It's cramped and tiny. There's pipes cutting, and you have to like duck and climb over things to get around while you're inside. You can see, as you go in, you can see the docking clamps where it's bitten onto the hull look great. They look in perfect condition. All the status lights when you press the test button show green, but you can see that it's like warning battery drain, where its battery appears to be feeding the rest of the ship through the umbilical connection. So its battery is still pretty full, but it's working down. Obviously, it's a very big ship to throw lighting and nav computer support to. It appears to you that the engines are currently being cannibalized to keep the main ship, the Lapis, online.
Ahu, are you ready? I'm going to give you the plan.
I'm ready.
I'm going to pilot tugboat engine, and I'm going to work my way around to container B, and I'm going to do whatever I have to do to dislodge that thing because it's pulling this ship apart. I need some help from you, though. You're my eyes on the ship. You're going to help me if I need to be guided in, and make sure you get a Vox message back to the bridge to let them know what we're doing.
Okay.
Are you ready, Ahu?
Ahu.
I'm like, I'll be serious. You're like,
battle
nah,
cry.
you won't.
This engine, thanks to the way it's connected up, essentially you have the very small pilot's cabin that's only, enough for one, maybe another person hunched behind the pilot's seat. And then the whole rest of the structure is a fuel tank. And then the engine sits at the back of that. So virtually, when you detach this from the ship, you're taking half of the ship's fuel with you.
Yep.
You go in and you shut the door and you do all the things. Talk to me about your piloting experience.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, hero.
All right. Let me tell you about my piloting experience that may not be reflected on my character sheet.
Yeah, I'm going to need to see some stats on that character sheet for this to be
Lucky I didn't
persuasive.
do them in pen so I can rub them out and start again. My piloting is limited to sitting on my dad's lap on the belt, growing up, like farm tractor style of little skimmer ships and things that we get around in, and he would teach me by sitting on his lap and doing them.
I'm more than happy that you can detach this thing from the ship. I am less comfortable with the idea. It's like mid-air refueling or docking to a spacecraft. I do not think you have the capability to plug back into the ship or to plug into the cargo containers.
And surely you
So
would
I
know
think-
this, though.
If you hit the detach, it's going to be probably a one-way trip unless you come up with a plan B. I don't think you're going to be able to reattach this engine. I'd have to be convinced with a very good roll for you to be able to reconnect this engine to the ship.
Ahu, what do you like at flying?
It's like flying. I've never even sat
Well, you're
in
off checking.
No, are the squawk boxes working? The comms? Like, can I talk to...
You can power them up if you like.
I'm like starting to strap myself in and buckle, and Ahu's on the Vox in the hallway. So he can talk to you and then yell stuff at me.
I would assume...
So who's like, hello, Bridge. Dutch is going to take one of the engines and do something with the cargo containers. Are you there?
Dutch can't fly. Quick,
Well-
don't let him unattach. Don't let her unattach.
She's told me to help her strap in, and then apparently she's leaving.
It's about this time where part of the emergency procedures, obviously, is working out for a total engine failure, how much reserve oxygen time one would have in a ship before, if you cut off all unessential rooms and kept it.
I can tell you that number.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. So at its peak, when this is full, if you turned off the life support with just normal turn off, you would have 50 crew days.
Okay.
So by my maths, at the moment,
With hull breaches and stuff.
Come on,
there's
50.
7 of you.
Yep.
So at most, that's 7 days. However, there's also been catastrophic hull breaches, which have drained entire rooms. And since the life support failed, you've bled at least 2 rooms, including a long corridor. So I'd say you're down to about 4.5, 5 days of oxygen at your current staffing levels.
Right. I relay that information to the squawk boxes, the open squawk boxes around the ship, so they can all hear it. We've had catastrophic failure of the engine room. Life support is down. We have a maximum of 4 days left. Oxygen. Telling all crew not to stop opening and bleeding doors unless absolutely urgent, and to do so without checking first.
After hearing that.
So Dutch is halfway through strapping in, still with the front glass and everything open. So she's hearing all this. Who's only a few steps up the corridor. Roll that panic dice for me.
I've passed a 19 over 14.
Fantastic. Is everyone else feeling all right about this?
Well, I'm the one that told it, so I've come to terms with it.
So, Doc, you're still in that hallway outside the lab. You haven't made entry yet when this transmission comes through.
I'm gearing up to go in. I hear this over the comms and I think, just one more little complicating factor. You know what? I'm so in the zone about going into the lab. Like, if anything, I'm more likely to have taken stress about the thought of going back into the lab than any transmissions. So I could take stress hits for that, but we'll get to it when it's my turn, I suppose.
Well, funnily enough, I was just about to cross to you.
Oh, there we go.
You did.
So you're standing outside the lab door.
Yep.
I say lab access card required. You've seen those things in the hallway. You're going to have to bleed this hallway to equalise to get into the lab.
Yep.
Transmission comes through just before you start.
Yeah, my hand's out.
Yep.
And I say to myself, well, he did say no bleeding unless absolutely necessary. And this is absolutely necessary. So, yeah, I'll just do it.
The lab door slowly swings open. And it's dark inside. And, of course, the gravity's off in there. All the geological access equipment, the drills and the center presses and the little sampling microscopes and the things where they push a little auger through and get a core sample, and that's all over the benches. And there's a big terminal with a lab access card that's slotted in, and it's got these front-loading like hard disk drive bays, that like those big mag tape bays. It's almost like a reel-to-reel recorder. And there's analysis notes printed out that are sitting down on the bench nearby. And there's the notes that Dr. Renato made on the progression of her symptoms. These are like diarised in her. She's got this nice sort of flowery handwriting that's quite contrary to her profession. And there's the pallet jack that's parked there that was used to ferry her body to the airlock and out. And the arms for this are still on the airlock controls that they manipulated, because there is a small disposal airlock there at the very back of the ship. That's only, it's big enough for a person. It's probably, I don't know, a metre square or so. You could clamber through it, but you certainly won't be walking through it.
The notes might be a bit painful for me, but I think it's important I read them anyway.
So I've given you a handout about the notes. Would you like to give a very brief summary of what they say?
Very briefly, what's being stored in container A is highly magnetic. It's actually damaged some of the research material, and the data's been corrupted based on how insanely magnetic these things are. Container B, that pearl that we found, it seems to be the core of an asteroid, and it's actually been attracting other asteroids, causing collisions or impacts into it. The surface is extremely hard, and it hasn't been able to be tested based on how difficult it is to analyse. And then what is currently being stored in container F, which we didn't really get into, but ore samples emitting trace radiation. It's a late-stage decay of uranium-235, so highly radioactive. And, anybody going in is going to suffer serious health hazards. So whatever we've brought onto the ship is, I think, fairly unsurprisingly causing all of our myriad issues. I think what's in container B is the primary issue. I think we're onto the right track. If we can jettison it somehow by using the tugboats, probably go a ways towards us being able to repair the ship.
Have we become the asteroid?
Right.
Do you have any kind of geology or chemistry kind of background?
Zoology's similar.
Is it?
No, not even close. No, it's not. It's not my forte. I'm a biologist and a human doctor at heart.
I'm a
Biology. Tell you what,
doctor.
roll me an intellect check.
71 over 56. I failed.
Nothing jumps out at you.
If I had passed, what would you have said to me?
I would have said something different.
All right. Well, I guess I'm still floating around in the lab. I've read these, but it's basically confirmed that we're on the right track, I think. So at the earliest opportunity, I'm going to get Arcady to... Sorry, not Arcady. He's Alexi's brother. I'm going to get Alexi to put that through the comms somehow to let Double Dutch know. Mm-hmm. Just be cautious of magnetic fields.
Where are you planning to go from? I'll tell you what, I'll come back to you where you're planning to go from here.
Whether you're relaying data to the team on Earth or sending a message back home to those you love, reliable and fast cellular service needs to be peace of mind. With our latest tower installations, rest assured that you will receive signal coverage from Terra to Neptune to Proxima Centauri and suddenly back again. Our community outreach program means that we are a team proud to sponsor the efforts of our nation's rowing team of Miller, Weir, Lewis and Clark. Isn't it time that you said,
"We're leaving,"
and joined Event Verizon Cellular Network?
Flashing Badger.
Cal?
I've done the math now. I'm experienced enough on these ships, and I realise that this is essentially hopeless. Even if we were able to somehow jettison the container that's causing us grief, we wouldn't have enough air and life support to repair the damage to the life support and the reactor, like Double Dutch has said, to fix the ship enough to be able to limp anywhere. Mm-hmm. I'll do a quick calculation on the nav and see if there's any systems, any stations, any rim close to us at the moment.
Yeah, there's ones within a couple of weeks. And Dutch did say that the reactor was repairable.
But she did say it would take days, didn't she?
Hours.
Oh, okay. I thought it was days. So I guess triaging then, we'd have to somehow get rid of the containers, see if we could somehow get rid of the containers and hopefully repair the reactor with enough time to sort of limp to another system.
Mm-hmm. Dutch, you're sitting in the tugboat primed over the release button and you've been told to stop. What are you thinking?
I flick the straps up because I want to get this sorted. I want to get Container B off the ship. Mm-hmm. But starting to run through what that needs to look like of get out there, then get back, and the requirement to get the power back online in this ship using this engine, I know it's going to be outside my scope. So I'm frustrated and I'm flicking the straps back up off my harness, crawling back out, and I push Ahu out the way. I'm back on the Vox. Cal, it's Double Dutch. What are you doing?
I have a moment of magnificence. I have a moment of self-sacrifice. And I decide that I'm going to have to, knowing I'm the only decent pilot on the ship still, going to have to get down to a tugboat to help get rid of these containers. In order to do that, so then you can stay on board and fix the reactor. The plan is for me to come back onto the ship, but I'm worried that I won't be able to. And
Did you say any of that to me?
Yep, I said all of that to you. I said, this is how great I am. So basically I relayed to you that I'm going to release the containers and then I'm going to make my way down to tugboat B, which is the closest one, so I can get out there and do what your original plan was, but you just lacked the skill.
What was it that you were working on now?
Or I was trying to get us out of here. I was trying to see if there was a place we could go quicker. And also, just before I do, I'm yelling at Sarah, where's that freaking card?
Leave that with me. I will sort out whatever you need from Sarah and the key, and I'll take over that job and you take over mine.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I think you need to start working on the reactor. Time's a factor.
So, Cal, you walk out of the bridge and you're heading down the port corridor there to make your way to the rear engine. And Sarah emerges from cryosleep. She's like, "What the hell? We don't have enough air? And there's a virus that eats air that's on board the ship? Like, thank God it's locked down in the lab."
Yeah, and I've already told everyone.
No one's been in there, right?
And I've told no one to go in anywhere.
Is that what's killing us?
No, that's not.
What is killing us?
It's whatever's in cargo storage B?
Well, we got to get the hell out of here.
Did you get the card or not, Sarah?
Yeah.
She did roll the panic dice too.
She goes, it was really easy because all the cryopods are open.
Perfect. How's Donnie doing?
He doesn't look great. Is the doc going to help him? Can we get the power back online? Because the Exo's, he's in real trouble.
I'm not interested in dealing with Sarah, quite frankly. I grab the card from her and I do run back and see what's in that secure storage.
So, Cal, now you grab that card off her. Where are you going?
Actually, I don't grab the card off her. I leave it with her and I just plop her down forcefully onto the ground while she's sitting there, whatever. And I sort of shake her a little bit and I say, get this card to Dutch. Get this card to Dutch when she comes past. And I take off pretty much in a straight line on port side down towards tugboat B.
You get to tugboat B and it's gone. No, it's fine.
See Ahu out the window.
That would have been awesome.
No, it's absolutely fine. And you go through the process and you open it and you get through the airlock and you strap in and everything. And your plan is to detach and launch and...
Yeah, so I have released the mechanism for the containers from the bridge. And my plan is to detach and go and see if I can physically...
Excellent. Doc.
I'm casting my eyes around the lab. I know it's dark. I've got my little vac suit flashlight, so I'm looking around, but noting that something in here killed my esteemed teacher and mentor and the woman I looked up to. So I'm not going to go start poking around. So I read notes. So I've read the notes. The terminal. There's a computer terminal. Just going to open that up to see if there's anything of
Power's off in here.
Power's off.
There's a few little small flecks of... Now you look close to it, there's small flecks of blood on the keyboard and on the desk. You can take the drives with you if you want.
Well, I'm less concerned about that right now because if the ship's going to rip itself apart, I'm not too worried about the drives. But I do want to have a look under the flecks of blood. Is there a microscopic setup or anything?
Yeah, if you want to do that investigation, you can do that.
Yeah, just to see if there's anything at all.
Okay, I'll leave you there. It'll take you about half an hour.
Okay, well, I'm not really much used to anything else that's happening in the ship at the moment. No one seems to need my medical attention.
Double Dutch.
Hi.
Sort of grumpily climb your way out of that engine because you wanted to be the hero. How do you get back to the cockpit? Is it back up through dorms and...
Yeah, the most direct route is directly up the starboard corridor towards the dormitory.
Turn the corner to just near cryo and you see Sarah sat on the floor there, head in hands, crying, and she's just holding an access card up as she does.
What is it, Sarah?
It's it's secure storage. Cal said you were going to go check it and he's gone to the engines.
I've left Ahu with the engine, so how about you come with me?
She's like, okay. She's like, tell me, is it the virus? Is that what's killing us?
Well, I think there's 8 different things going wrong right now, but what's going right is that we have a plan to make everything better. But that plan involves you coming with me. Let's get it done.
She stands up, she kind of wipes some tears away, and she follows in behind you. And she's like, hey, can we do some Dutch Blitz later?
Tell you what, no.
Where are you making your way?
Yeah, we'll go through to the bridge now with a view of using the card at secure storage.
You slot the card into the door of secure storage, and the big bolts retract. And the door slowly opens, and inside you see shelves, locked front shelves or shelves with clamps on, that you open up, and there is batteries in here. Big lithium batteries. There's mining explosives. There's ammunition for the ramset guns they used to fire probes into asteroids and things. There's the captain's old antique revolver here. It's like a 44 Magnum. It's empty. It's just sat there on the shelf with a cylinder open. There's a spare lab access card here. If there's anything specific you're looking for, tell me and I'll tell you if it's here, but...
I was kind of hoping the rest of the crew would be in there, to be really honest.
On shelves.
Yeah, just sitting there on shelves.
No sign of anyone.
Yeah, right.
Sarah's in the doorway. She's like, Dutch, what are we even looking for here? Do you know Don's going to die?
Did Cal tell you what he wanted from this room?
No, he just kept saying something about he wanted to look in here, and he was muttering about maybe the captain was in here, but then I told him Don was going to die, and he was just like, I don't care, and he pushed me. Do you know that? He pushed me to the ground and he ran off.
We'll take it up with HR next week, Sarah. But I don't know what he wanted from this room. So I'm going to give you a job. Come sit in the pilot seat. I want you trawling through some of the footage and also just relaying some of the vital information in the ship back to me. I need to work out what priority I get things back online. You can do that for me, Sarah?
Okay, I guess.
How'd you go in general storage getting all that stuff I needed?
I didn't get I started getting it and then someone shot a missile at the ship. I don't know. I didn't get any of it.
All right, come sit down.
You're too kind.
So she goes and sits down at one of the terminals.
Hijacked.
Yeah, it's one less crew day of oxygen. What do you want it to do?
I like that idea. If she can just start to get an idea of each of the rooms, she can make a list for me on their status and what parts need to be fixed. And if she runs out of stuff to do with that, then I'd like to have her trawling through footage to try and account for each of our missing staff members.
Sure.
And looking for clues.
So she's like, well, power's off, which means life support's off. So I guess we got to fix that.
That's good work, Sarah. Write them down.
She does. And she draws little hearts above her eyes.
Oh, nice. I mean, she's right. We do need to get life support back on. But I think I'm going to wait on the bridge as a point of communication and decision-making and command for whilst we try and eject what I would say would be 3 containers.
Okay. Cal, what you disconnect from the ship, and on the bridge and in the lab you feel the double clunk of the ship, the engine disconnecting. It's notably a mechanical feel, not like an impact. What order are you doing these containers in? Which ones is it you want to eject?
Asking for a bit of ship mechanical know-how here. Does it change? Like, is it easier to eject one or the other?
No, essentially they're all sat in a row. You can basically access the top of any of them or the bottom of any of them.
Yeah.
In the order. Which one are you most concerned about?
I think container B.
Make it an intellect roll, because I think this is a function of planning rather than reflexes. Intellect roll, you can add your piloting.
Rolled a 64, which is, even with my 15 bonus, leaves me short by 2.
So you spend about half an hour just trying to get this lined up and shunting the container and trying to move it. And every time it will move a foot or two off flush. And then you move around to the other side of the ship and try again. You can't make it move. It seems like the rails are deformed. You can see that this is going to take like a high-speed run at this thing to push it free, which may damage the ship, may break the back of the ship, will definitely kill whoever's in the tugboat engine, and will probably shatter the container. There's a fair chance you'll punch through the container rather than actually being able to dislodge it. But either way, it will be a suicide mission if you try.
How good a pilot? It's Ahu. Is there a way, before I do this amazing feat, to set an autopilot or anything like that with these tugboats?
No.
And the tough thing is that's half of our power as well that we wanted back, which we're not going to get back through a suicide mission.
This is, and you spend 20 minutes or half an hour like doing this, by the time you position and move around and taps and lock on and lock off, but you're going to have to take a run up at it, which is obviously something that you never do. Make yourself a missile. I'll leave you thinking about it. Dutch and Doc, have you guys got any plans on board the ship? You get your log there of things to fix, and there's a flowery border on it that says reactor double underlined, life support underlined.
Yeah, I've got a plan. I'm going to grab the explosives out of the secure storage.
Okay.
Sarah, come with me.
Yep. Where do you go?
We're grabbing a couple of explosives each, and we're heading back to corridor starboard side, outside container B.
Again, as you start getting closer to container B, you feel that familiar tug, that unsettling nausea.
Sarah, you haven't been here yet, but there's something in this room that will change the way you think, and it will pull at your will, and it's going to try and drag you towards it. It sounds ridiculous to say, but picture a beach ball that is just magnetic to you, and it's just drawing you close. It is ridiculous. It can't hurt us. We're going to be fine, but it just feels weird and it looks weird.
Dutch, why are we going near this thing?
Because we're going to do something cool. We're going to get it off the ship.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is use your carabiner there. You're going to clip on to this part of the door on the bulk. I'm going to clip onto you. We're going to extend our arms out. I'm going to open these doors. I'm going to finger roll these explosives onto the inside of the door. We're going to close it all back up. We're going to detonate. And because of the direction and the side they're on, it's going to push this sucker back out of the ship. It'll cause some damage to this corridor and everything else, but we'll shut all these doors off.
What's your explosives experience?
Oh, amazing. I'm about ready for a level up, aren't I? I've got jury rigging, mechanical repair, and engineering. I reckon.
I still don't think you know what quantity of explosives create what amount
When
of
in doubt,
force.
block out.
So I think I'll give you some points for jury rigging, but I think otherwise this is an incredibly high risk venture.
Yeah.
I want you to recognise this is remove the survivability of the ship to zero kind of venture.
Yeah. Would you be happy then? Because these aren't.
Hey, I'm happy if you all die. That's not up to me.
I can assure you I'm happy. If I set this up, but I don't detonate.
Absolutely. Well, like, planning's my favourite. Planning's great.
I'd like to do that.
I'm happy for you to execute that. I think, out of fairness to you, what we're going to do is, when we do the roll, there's going to be panic checks for Sarah. There's going to be some rolls for you to make it work.
Yep.
So I think, fine, you open the cargo container door. As soon as Sarah gets a glimpse of this thing, she panics.
I told her she'd be fine.
And she instantly becomes a coward and folds on herself. And as soon as the door opens, you see her detach your carabiner from her front
Sarah.
and start dragging herself along the corridor towards the front of the ship. And she only gets like 4 hand rungs before her carabiner snaps her back, and you see her frantically unscrewing and disconnecting it to flee.
Yep.
Roll a speed save for me.
I've passed with a 10 under 42.
Great. You grab onto the edge of the open door, so your feet are now pointing slightly, it's not like hanging out the back of a jet or anything, but there's a noticeable tug towards the object. But you're holding on. You can pull yourself out if you want to.
What I'd like to do is lock one of my arms under the rungs on the bulk.
Yep.
So that it makes that tight angle and it's pulling on the crook of my elbow. And then with my other arm, I'm placing the explosives on the inside of the door on either side.
Happy with that. A woman with your 0G experience, that's second nature.
And I'm just deep breaths, trying to calm myself as they're going in.
You roll me a fear save as well for yourself.
I can do that. I failed a 52 over 21.
Right, you're going to take 3 stress for me.
Makes sense.
How's that stress looking?
Don't worry about it. I'm stressed.
If I was to put a number on it, what would that number be?
That number would be 17.
But you plant those explosives, and once you've done that, where do you go? And what's the detonation mechanism on these explosives?
These can be controlled remotely over the computer terminal with like 6 different, are you sure you want to do this? Yes, no.
Okay.
You can set them up on timers and stuff. I haven't. I've just put them in place and it's
Radio
So you're going
signals.
to blow the back out of this container.
the container, yeah.
Where are you going now?
Back towards Sarah. So trying to drag myself back out of this, close the door behind me to shipping container B, and then heading towards the front of the ship with Sarah. The fate of humanity remains uncertain this evening as the proposed survival strategy hit an abrupt end. The Texas-sized asteroid on a collision course with Earth is one day closer to impact amid the NASA blunder. A shuttle crew manned entirely by offshore oil drillers barely cleared the launch pad before erupting into flames and killing all aboard. When prompted for comment, Clyde Arlington, a vocal opponent to each of these Hollywood strategies, had this to say.
Not a single soul aboard that vessel had any experience or training in spaceflight or piloting of any nature. Of 7 minutes of training montage. I don't know why anyone would have expected that to go any other way than a fiery ball of taxpayer money.
A condemnation that is being echoed in Parliament this morning. With only a handful of days remaining before impact, this reporter encourages you to remain tuned to Channel 47 News and not to close your eyes, because you don't want to miss a thing.
Alright! Flashing Badger.
Doc,
Let's do it.
you've been looking through the lab. You have found really nothing beyond what you did. You found lots of detailed analysis of the samples. You found the examination of container B was very brief, very short-lived. They basically found they couldn't penetrate the object with any tools and virtually gave up on it. The samples in container A, they set aside that they were too dangerous to examine in space due to the incredible magnetism of them and how it kept damaging instruments and so on. And the sample that killed Dr. Renato, you can see there was some speculation about waterborne bacteria or airborne bacteria living within trapped water within one of the geodes that she cracked open. And it looks, from her musings, it sort of looks like she believes that she cracked open, there was something alive in there that's what's killed her. And whatever that is something that consumes oxygen at a prodigious rate. And eventually it suffocated along with her as it outstripped her body's ability to consume oxygen.
When you said they were inside the geodes, are these are the ones currently in container A? Or is this, this is F, isn't it?
F, yep.
I feel like I need to get up onto the bridge and see if we can manually eject A and F. I know B's got the bent rails, so that's, going to take some explosive decompression to move. But A and F also need to go. Failing that, is there a life support? There's no lifeboat, so to speak, on these. Because I am also thinking maybe we just need to aim this ship for the nearest star and plunge it into the heart of the star. These things have the potential to wipe out planet after planet. If these things can spread and they consume oxygen, they're way too dangerous to make it anywhere near civilization.
They eat the star and become more powerful.
Than you could possibly imagine.
That could also go
But
bad.
do you thinking that it died out with Renata?
The virus itself, yeah, but only after it had exhausted her biological functions. So if it can spread, if something like this gets to a terraformed planet,
I think viruses famously like to stay alive.
No, but I mean, so is it alive in the lab? Have you exposed everyone to certain doom, or is it just within the container?
No. I was quite cautious about the way I went through everything. This was not a wrench open the door and hope for the best. I was maintaining very strict protocols. So, that's...
I mean, to his advantage, the lab was in vacuum, having that strike in from the aft of the ship.
Yeah.
So it's likely that whatever was in there has probably been dragged out or hasn't survived the vacuum.
Yeah, that's good.
So, Cal, are you still...
Good luck rather than good planning, though, I think.
Sure, fine. Either way.
So you make your way back to the bridge, Doc, and you and Dutch and Sarah. So you're all up on the bridge. Cal, you're still outside. What's the plan from here? Are you communicating it? Or?
Dutch,
Doc, I'll put some explosives on the ship.
I think we need to go a little bit harder, if anything, Dutch. I've been studying this virus. It's so much more deadly than initially thought. We can't expose it to any civilized planet. We can't let it get off this ship. And even, to be honest, I came up here thinking I could jettison a few of the cargo containers, but I think they're even too dangerous. If one of them accidentally lands on a planet, or if another spaceship picks one up and starts investigating, it could be the end of the human race. I think it's more important than anything that we need to destroy what's going on here.
I'd like to live, Doc.
As would I, Dutch, as would I.
How about we just jettison them? I
But if we jettison, that's what I mean.
From what I've heard, space is quite large.
It is quite large. It's significantly large. Do we have the ability to do that, though? Can we?
Let's bring it up on the machine.
Can you put a sticker on them?
Do not open? Yeah.
I'll do it. So Cal, you're out there. You've made these attempts. You realise now that this is going to be a death effort to get rid of Container B. The comlink opens between the two of you.
Yeah.
You're going to need to come to a consensus about what plan you're executing, if any.
So you let me know about the explosives in there.
Cal, what are you doing out there? Have you had any luck?
No, I've had zero luck. There's only really one way that I can possibly help in getting rid of this container, and unfortunately, it'd be a one-way trip for me.
Regardless of you, we need that engine for power of the rest of the ship.
So she gives sympathy to Sarah.
Yeah, you were mean to Sarah. She told me
an NPC, and yet here I am willing to sacrifice myself for everyone.
Well, why don't you just hold off on
written up
that?
at the end of this? Man.
Why don't you just wait off on the suicide mission, and we'll see if the explosives work. What do you reckon?
So, Cal, funny thing, I put a whole bunch of explosives at container B. If the railing means we can't dislodge it, and yours would be a suicide trip that may not even work and we lose half the power, we could try the explosives first. We can try and jettison the other cargo ones and see if that loosens it somehow, and then we can jettison B.
If you want to try and jettison the rest of them, I'm sitting here on standby ready to go because I don't want to die
You'll get a
either.
cool view of this.
Yeah.
So are
And
you
Doc,
going to push out A and F before B?
A has already been breached in terms of it's got a big hole through it, so vacuum, and you're worried about the stuff inside it.
yeah,
so
shit.
potentially less dangerous now that it's already been scattered over hundreds of thousands of
I
kilometers
start
of
to remove.
space.
Oh, good.
Is it a lengthy process to remove these containers?
No,
ones
it'll
that I'm
take you
doing.
10 minutes a container.
I start to remove the other ones. We're
Which one are you doing first?
I'll do A first, and I relay this to the crew, to these guys too. I'll start to remove the other containers because if there's an explosion going to happen, it'll create less shrapnel, less debris to risk the rest of the ship.
You might not even need to do it with the shuttle. We might be able to just do it by pressing buttons on the bridge.
Yeah,
They
for
still
A
need
and
to be
F.
pushed out.
yeah, and they still.
I'll
need to
do that.
And I go about methodically, starting from A. I'll do A, E, F, C, H, and start to
I
push them
think
all out.
E's okay, isn't it? Like,
Let's get rid of all of
Get
them.
rid of all
yeah,
of them.
fine, yeah, better be
Unless it's
safe.
got dessert bars on board, I want it gone.
It's like
Oh, yeah, good
jettisoning
point,
excess fuel before an explosion. Let's
Imagine
do it.
Gordon was like the team from Shift A had all
hiding in
hunkered
A.
Oh,
down
yeah, hiding in a
E
cargo bay.
Pause for
All right, yeah, we'll
Okay.
get rid of them all.
So you're starting with A.
Yep.
Great.
Sarah, bring them up on the computer and dislodge the couplings for A.
And you bring up the cameras as well to watch it, like a movie.
cool.
It's a slow.
About 10 minutes go by and you push the container. Are you pushing it towards the top of the ship or towards the bottom of the
Well,
ship?
it's space, so I'm pushing it to what would be the standard shipping way, which is towards the bottom.
Okay. Container A glides out,
Floats.
takes off at a moderate rate of disappearance from you. I don't know. I'm not going to make up space numbers because someone in the comments will tell me I'm wrong, but it moves away at a reasonable clip.
It hits a passing ship.
You pass within about 30 meters of each other. It's like, this is really unusual.
Terrifying.
Space is tiny. Which is next?
E.
You latch on to container E and you start pushing container E away. Container E glides off like it should, like routine every day, and follows after container A.
And then I do B, which does the same.
You latch on to B, and like before, you
Yeah.
can't, the rails can't
Yeah.
move at all.
So I do F.
Okay. You latch onto F and you start pushing F away. The clamps release and you start accelerating it out of the bay, and the entire ship rocks underneath you, including your engine because you're attached to it, as something tears from the front of the ship all the way back through, creating shrapnel, firing out in a cloud towards you in B. Roll a speed save for me.
I've rolled a 7 under 42, so I've made it with that
Right.
a bonus.
You punch the engines and this cloud of shrapnel sort of tears through non-essential stuff, but it's absolutely shredding through the entire front half of the ship. Inside the ship on the bridge, all the collision alarms sound, all the vacuum alarms sound. The doors out of the bridge, the door into secure storage immediately goes red. The door, the oxygen panel for the whole ship shows cryosleep compromised, secure storage compromised, dorms compromised.
Ahoo!
Where was that? Who?
We hear a distant.
There is days of oxygen lost out of this. It's been venting atmosphere.
All right, well,
Cal,
we've only got limited time to ensure we destroy this stuff.
container B still attached.
Yeah.
Are you going to blow it, or shall I?
I'll do it.
Okay. So Cal, you're at a reasonable distance, having just pushed out and dodged all that cloud. You press the explosives detonator.
Just before you do, I'm zipping my vac suit up and attaching my oxygen supply.
I'm going to say something pretty dumb.
Dumb question, go.
If there's a hole in container B and it's a vacuum, is this explosive not going to work?
No, I'll be fine.
Space explosive?
It's it's oxygenator. It's burning the oxygen that's consumed with it. I presume they're used on mining asteroids all the time. It's got some. Yeah, it's fine.
I'm pushing the button.
Roll a dice for me. Roll a D100.
Just
There's essentially there's a number I've got in mind which is catastrophically bad for you. There's a number I have in mind which means nothing really happens. There's a number that means it goes all right.
oh yeah, I know the numbers first. I've rolled a 31.
Okay.
Oh no.
The container tears open as the explosives go off, and the ship starts spinning as the force of the explosion pushes it. But the contents of the container from Cal's position outside seem to eject. And you can't see in detail, obviously there's a big cloud of debris going everywhere, but the big cloud of shrapnel seems to push off, almost following the other cargo containers downwards beneath the ship.
Like a comet trail sort of thing.
Yeah. It like chases after them.
Did you see a huge bowling ball?
He did not.
Iridescent.
You still have problems. I'd say you've got big problems in terms of the amount of air and so forth that you have. What's the plan from here? Like, I'm happy to take summaries, but Cal, you're going to redock?
Well, I would say that's then successful.
Okay. Are you going to chase after the container B and sort of try and assess the wreckage, or are you just leaving it
Absolutely
be?
not.
Okay.
Yeah, I see that as successful. We've got rid of the Pearl of Doom, I'll call it. Mm-hmm. We've got rid of the Pearl. It's shot off into space. I'm looking to redock and assess the damage there and see if we can't assist in repairing some systems on the ship.
Mm-hmm. Alexi and Sarah.
Do I have Ahu?
Ahu was down the back half of the ship somewhere.
I understand.
Are you summoning everyone forward, or are you meeting somewhere? What's your priority in terms of returning things? You're the engineering person here. What's your plan?
The plan I'm giving to Alexi and Sarah is with the list from General Storage Manifest, the 2-part epoxy resin, the metal sheets.
Yep.
There's a radiation doodacky of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving them a list of items that we need. And because a lot of the ship is in lockdown at the moment, we're going to use the bridge and general storage as our staging area.
Yep.
We're going to assemble a team and we're going to move, starting with life support, reactor, get those 2 back online. And this is me now settling into 4, 5, 6 hours of repairs.
Yeah, reactor will have to come first before life support can work. But
That one.
And that's the one that's going to kill
you
you.
an engineer
It's
too?
going to kill you with your radiation, but
Yeah.
sure. Cal and Doc. Cal, what's your plan? Where are we pointing the ship? I know it's drifting now, but you're going to need something ready for when it comes back, if it comes back online.
Yeah, so when I lock the turbo tugboat on, I do the maneuver of
The turbo tugboat. Yep.
Yeah, the turbo tugboat. When I lock it back on, I do make a few maneuvers with the engine power that I still have here to stop the ship spinning as hard as it is.
Yep,
Give a bit
happy
more
with that.
stability for it. I am a pilot, but I'm not useless in terms of repairs. I've still got industrial equipment, 0G and a bit of RimWise experience. So we're looking now just to get some sort of power back online, some sort of reactor back online. And I'm assisting Double Dutch and Doc with as much of that too. Well, pretty much all of us, I think, are just going to be working non-stop to try and get this reactor back online so we can get
Doc,
life support on.
you've basically become a technician with this
Yeah.
role, have you? Is that
Yeah,
right?
but
Yep.
only just following.
It's all hands to try and get this
following. I don't know
reactor
what
back
I'm
online.
doing.
Okay.
I'm
You're
just-
like passing one item from someone to the
yeah,
next.
that's
Yeah.
it. Like, does anybody need a water?
Yeah,
break?
you might be ferrying things from general
Yeah.
storage to,
You might be
to the
sandwiches,
reactor
man. Like,
spaces.
you
Yep,
just- yeah.
that's
You're driving
it.
the little cargo
Yeah.
trailer
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Are you satisfied that the threats to the ship are gone?
Absolutely, 100%. Never felt safer.
The Pearl,
Yep, gone. Proper gone.
the virus,
Yep.
Yeah, well, as long as no one went in that lab at the end,
as long as no one went. I don't think anyone went into
Yeah,
that lab.
as
long as no one went into that, which
Everything was sealed in the lab.
which we're
so
comfortable
fine.
with. I mean, no one's mentioned that they went into the lab.
Yeah.
Alexi's
I
like, Kel, may I talk to you for 2 minutes?
2 minutes. Have
I
something to
was
say.
bored near the lab. Something happened.
His problem.
Anyway,
All right. Well, I'm happy that you have a plan and that we will roll to see how this plan goes.
Yay.
I think Maxine is the engineer. It is her plan. I think we'll make you roll.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to give you, so it's going to be jury rigging. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you advantage because you've got a plan, a good plan and a team helping you. And we'll see how reactor repair goes and life support. We'll see how the repairs go.
Now, is this with intellect or speed or strength or combat?
intellect roll.
Done.
And you'll get to add your jury rigging and mechanical repair. You have both of those?
I do.
Great, add those.
So with 25 and 47, 52, 72. Looking to beat 72. We have a 38. Roll again and look for a critical.
Yeah,
Didn't get a critical, but the 38's a pass.
fantastic. So the oxygen is depleting in the ship fairly rapidly here, but thankfully for you, there's not that many crew left. You managed to repair the reactor. You managed to get life support back online. The ship is in very poor shape. Like it's more than half the cabins are holed and bleeding to the atmosphere. However, to the benefit, that may well have removed some of the virus there. Wegs, I'm going to get you to roll me a 50-50 luck roll. So just roll me a d10 and let me know if it's low as a success and high as a fail.
Don't look at my dice for a sec. I've rolled a 1. Oh.
So I'm also satisfied, you don't know this yet, but I'm satisfied that the purging to space has removed the bacterial viral traces that would have spelled doom for everyone.
Phew.
So I'm satisfied that you've managed to save the ship. Where's your destination now? I know, Cal, you're a bit worried that you're breaching company policy if you went anywhere but on with the mission.
No, we've reached the level now of horrific catastrophe that allows within this space for deviation from normal cargo
But you
manifest.
still had to go through a call that you make with 15 different prompts.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
Have you
Yeah.
tried this? Are you sure you've done this?
Are
Do
you
you
sure
have
this-
clearance from
Yeah, and
this?
then they'll transfer you to a human operator.
Yeah.
I did it all as Donald as well, knowing that if anything ever came back.
Oh, yeah, nice, yeah.
So on that note, you check cryo and that entire pod that on within is torn out. There's a furrow torn through the whole side of the ship that punches back through into where container B was. I think you've survived. And I think you've mostly solved what was going on. And I think you've saved. I think this might be a first for you guys. You've saved a few NPCs along the way, almost by accident.
Mothership
NPCs
never
became-
is this successful
No,
for us.
it's because they were so close to you. I don't think they had the opportunity to die without taking you with them.
Yeah.
So-
Except Ahu.
well, I genuinely rolled to see how they went, and I rolled 3 1s in a row, so that feels pretty unequivocal. I was going to
Yeah.
kill one
Take
just to
the
spite
hint.
you, but
Yeah.
the universe loves you guys. Great work. Thank you very much for playing.
Christ. That was close.
The module is called Deadweight by Norgad, and the game is obviously Mothership by Tuesday Night Games. If you didn't figure it out, it was the sphere was attracting anything dead, any dead tissue, any remnants.
Yeah.
It dragged the crickets and the meat out of life support, and that's what created the
What did I
shotgun.
call it? Yeah.
Well done.
And then as soon as it killed them, that created a chain of bodies of all of Shift A
Yep.
who got caught in the blast, who then became projectiles on their own right.
Right.
Projectile 2, the second one that hit you, was Dr. Renato's body that you let burial at sea that came back like a cruise missile, firing through the back of the ship and
That's
tearing
really
its
cool.
way up.
That's awesome, actually.
How the hell
From
did we ever going to
from
figure
a
that
couple
out?
of days
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah.
And then Projectile 3 was obviously in the XO there in the cryo bed.
Yeah.
Cryo bed
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
When
He
you said
wasn't
there was the
getting medical
gaping
care.
hole, I was like, yep.
Yeah.
He expired on his own in the dark, alone, frightened probably.
Oh, because the
'Cause the
support
cryopod-
systems
Absolutely.
went down, and so
If you got the reactor back on earlier, you probably could have kept him at least
fewer
stable.
holes in the ship.
Well,
and
yeah.
also he'd be alive.
I don't want
Oh,
to
yeah.
blame Double Dutch for that, but that was her decision.
So the good news is, a couple of hours from now, and you were probably 6 hours or so into this, at about the 8-hour mark, the asteroid that the Pearl came out of
Yeah.
was on its way back to you. And
Right.
was going to collide into you at some speed.
Cool. Drawn to the pearl.
It's like the
Was that-
Pearl had woken up as soon as blood touched it and was
Yeah, right.
calling home. So
And that was my concern: is we're going to eject the pearl, but then it was going to start attracting things and pull the ship back or something.
That's
'Cause
right, yeah.
it was an asteroid, and we became the asteroid. that
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
shit.
students of physics among you might say, but surely if the Pearl was pulling things to it, it would be pulled to them with equal and opposite force. The response is, it's magic.
A wizard.
wizard did it.
Space magic. in
A
fact.
wizard did it.
Thank you very much for listening. I hope you had fun. That was very survival. Usually Mothership's more horror based. It was very
Yes.
survival based this
Yeah.
time. So it
But
came
it
out
still had that element of like an unholy, unnatural force infesting the ship.
So
you know?
it came out quite sort of procedural in a way, but I hope you enjoyed it. I really did. I liked hearing you guys frantically on the fly make up ship procedures that don't exist.
Yeah.
So as I said, the module is called, the game is Mothership by Tuesday Night Games, which we could not recommend highly enough. Sean McCoy is the designer. The module itself was called Deadweight. It's by a guy called Norgad, who is fantastic. I sent him an email back and forth. He was very gracious about letting us run it on here. He has, if you search for the module Deadweight Mothership, itch.io, you can buy it directly from him. He gets all the money. We get no money. So that's
That's a terrible deal.
Terrible, but he deserves it. He's written this. It's fantastic. He's written another one called Brackish, which I have in hand, which I was going to run with these guys as well at some point, and that is fantastic too. So go and give him money because he deserves it. If you have enjoyed us playing the game, please leave us a review. In-universe reviews are our favourite. If you are Timothy Cream Whip from the rival shipping company, please let us know. If you are corporate upset with Cal's decision to relocate the ship, let us know. If you lost in the Dutch Blitz tournament to Double Dutch, or if you're one of the other Maxes who's upset with your name being taken, please jump on and let us know. We'll read out our favourites. And tell your friends about us. All the listeners help us very much. We are 4 dudes in a basement. We don't have producers and a production team. We just like talking to you guys and hoping you guys enjoy listening.
Tell you what we do have, though.
Tell me.
The Discord.
Amazing.
There's like over 600 of us or so in there now. And it's where we hang out. We talk podcasts, we talk mini painting, book nooks, cooking, cuisine, whatever. Whatever your hobby is, there's a home for it. And it's a welcoming and loving community.
And if you are elderly like Fitz and technologically not sound, you should know that it's very, very easy. It's like the old ICQ chat or whatever. It's literally just a chat room where people go there and talk about stuff, but it's very friendly and welcoming. And there's all kinds of stuff in there.
Isn't it? Was it AOL? Was the old chat?
Don't pretend you don't remember, old boy.
But it's somewhere that you can shape the narratives of our RPGs. We've done character creation in there. We've selected RPGs with the community as well. And it's a place to laugh about some of the horrible jokes you hear.
Yeah, and in fact, our next couple, we've had a few suggestions now. I think coming up in the next few might be a game of Deathmatch Island, which has been suggested on the Discord there. I haven't looked into it yet, so don't quote me. It'll be next time, but it will be in the future. But if you have a module or an RPG you really want us to play, we would love to hear it. If you would like to create a character for someone in an upcoming RPG and make them suffer through playing that, we would also enjoy that. Mike, Maxine, I think, was a mess in the first episode, but came really good by the end.
Yeah, it's on or off. I'm either rolling everything cold or everything hot. And there was the turning point probably 3 episodes in where I started rolling hot.
Thank God.
And I think, Doc, you were crucial to the solve part of the mystery.
Yeah.
But very rapidly it became an engineering problem that you had very little input into, I'm afraid.
Look, to be honest, Doctor's good when things have already gone wrong for all the people on board. I'm not great with reactors or mechanics or engines or explosives.
I like the bit at the start when you were like, I've seen a man who's been crushed and he's beyond help. That was my favourite bit.
I put him in the cryo thingy eventually, and look, that didn't really pan out that well for him, but
No,
I can justify it in retrospect.
You made him a beautiful human missile that was going to come back later on.
And to be fair, that was shortly after my beloved mentor was inadvertently created into a human missile. So
Absolutely.
you know, it was a rough voyage for Dr. Percy McMurdo.
And Cal, I really enjoyed. I really sympathise and I really enjoy with your character, and he brought some stoicism to it until he was mean to Sarah, and now I wish he'd died because Sarah was lovely.
Well, I was fully prepared to sacrifice myself at the end. I'd even written a little farewell thing, but farewell line to broadcast on the radio before I sacrifice myself.
Can it be like the speech they wrote for the Apollo 11 astronauts where we hear it 50 years later?
The bleakest thing in the world.
Can we hear your goodbye speech?
This was going to be my goodbye line as I drove that tugboat into the container. Maxine, just make sure you get them home. I have a daughter on Helios Prime. Tell her I was thinking about her at the end. Tell her I'm sorry.
Oh.
Jeez. Yeah. All right. And then CSI starts, obviously. That was like, we were having fun and then it got really touching. And now it's back to being stupid. That's the end of the episodes. Thanks very much for listening to us. We've all had a great time. I hope you have too. We will catch you on the next one. I've been Gordon.
I've been Wegs.
I have been Fitz.
And Mike.
We'll catch you next time.
Flashing Badger.